And I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but a Jamaican did play Bob.
I have been in my car for the past hour trying to figure out the best way to respond to your video. I do have to apologize. This might be a bit long as it is a stitch, so I cannot edit it. But I'll start at the beginning. When I first saw the One Love trailer, I was excited. I said, you know, Paramount's coming in with their money. This is going to be amazing. I loved looking at the locations in Jamaica. I saw Bob Marley's house the way it used to be. And that brought back feelings of nostalgia because I went to school not too far from there. And, you know, as February came closer and the release date was getting closer, I noticed that people, the people involved in the movie were doing PR push. And I didn't hear much talking from Kingsley or the cast. You know, when I mean talking, talk like Bob, talk like Rita. Let me hear the accent. Give me a little piece. I didn't hear that. Even when they did talk about Bob, I felt like they didn't really know the social struggles that was happening in Jamaica and what caused many people to leave in the 70s. The fight between the JLP and the PNP, you know, America in the island, you know, you sold that movie to me as if it was a biopic based on the political struggles in Jamaica. That is how the biopic was pushed out. But I saw the movie when it was released. They didn't have you didn't have Eddie in it. You didn't have Michael in it. You didn't have Peter Tosh in it. You didn't have all of these major characters to help build and develop a story. All of these major characters that should have been covered under that $70 million umbrella. People, hear me now. You had the sets. You had the actors. You had everything, and you didn't deliver. The storytelling was terrible. The acting was okay. Actually, let me do better than that. The acting was amazing. The editing was shit. The storytelling was terrible. All we got wasn't we didn't get a biopic of Bob Marley. We got a bunch of jump edits, quick cuts, some eureka moment, and Paramount said 1 hour and 47 minutes. That's enough. We're good. Cut it right there. I want you to Google the biopics for people like Ray Charles, people like Ali, people like Elvis. Most of these movies ran damn near 3 hours, but all Bob Marley got was half of that. Half of that. Not to mention, brethren, me notice say you try to give me a lecture about movie making and acting and what great actors can do. You know about great editing? You know about great... Can you edit? Do you know how to even use Vegas Pro? You understand? Do you know how to use Final Cut? Do you know how to use Premiere? Do you know how to use Overlay? Do you know how to chroma key out a green screen? I've been doing that for 15 years, brethren. Not to mention, I have 3 scripts when I write. If you want to read any of them, right now, message me. I give you them. But I will tell you this one thing that's very important in movie making. It's called introduction of characters. And if you think this Bob Marley movie introduced characters correctly, you are sadly mistaken. Because if I didn't know who Bob Marley's manager was, who the I3 was, who Lee Scratch Perry was, who Coxsone Dodd was and Studio One was, if I didn't know who Sidney Breakspeare was, these moments would have just passed. Because they didn't even have any screen time. So all the major players, people like that should have been in the movie. Michael Manley, Eddie Seaga, Peter Tosh, as much as written like Sidney Breakspeare, she should have been in there. Because these are people that are pivotal and instrumental to Bob's life and the telling of his story. And this biopic that you chose to be nothing more than a promotion for the Exodus album. So please, tell me more about how this little TikTok guy, this little guy trying to do clout, this guy that's trying to just live off of the Marley name and try to get him little 15 minutes of fame. Tell me. Because even though you don't know me, I have been trying my damn near hardest to be involved in Jamaican movies and a Jamaican film industry. Anybody that has known me know I'm a strong advocate for getting these things together, but I have to get up every day and go to a 9 to 5. I have to work in Babylon system. I don't even have the time. I barely have the time to make videos because our film industry isn't established. And no disrespect to the people that have fought hard to become part of Hollywood, as I am obviously frowned upon in your community, judging by the disdain you basically had for me in your video. I heard the undertone. You don't need to tell me that. And I heard your disdain to the uptown community, which many people that made a response to my video couldn't help but make it a racial issue or a class issue. I saw Dancehall Queen in Carib Theatre before Carib was partitioned. I remember being on the second floor watching Paul Campbell come on screen and say, "Walk and live, talk and bumbo clad dead." I was there for that. You're an amazing actor. I can feel your energy through the camera. I know you have a lot to offer the world. Don't be a sycophant to Hollywood. Don't be a sycophant to all these big names. Because the second you have a voice for yourself, the second you can think outside the box, the second they say, no, this guy cannot be controlled, is the very second you don't have a career anymore. And you don't have a Jamaican career to fall back on. You don't have that community. Jamaica is not crabbing barrel when it comes to their movies. Jamaicans support Jamaican films like you don't even understand. You yourself said it. The guy that played young Bob in the Bob Marley movie, he's a Jamaican and he had a breakout role. He shined brighter than everybody else. And he was a Jamaican and he was rightly casted. Bob Marley deserves a better biopic. And the people involved in making the movie, in my opinion, I feel like as soon as money stop run, them cut the tape, them stop edit. As soon as money stop run, they're not going to give you another scene. As soon as money stop run, they're not going to use Hope Road. And let me just get this point across. You said that for every English guy on the screen, for every 3 Englishmen, the guy said that there were 7 Jamaicans. Well, I watched the movie. I watched as every Jamaican either was opening the gate for Bob Marley, right? A policeman letting Bob through, or a bunch of people in Bob Marley yard begging him for money. You reduced the Jamaican people to make them seem like they were a bunch of hooligans. So forgive me. Maybe I wasn't as starstruck as most people. Or maybe I know too much about Bob and Bob's life and Jamaica to expect more from that film. So I apologize, Ziggy. No hard feelings. And please, if you haven't seen the Bob Marley movie, please watch it and use it as a masterclass of how not to make a movie.